Welcome to Omnivores 13. We spend almost 1/3 of our lives sleeping, yet many of us wonder, do we truly sleep enough and do we sleep well? Why do we still feel exhausted even after what seems like a full night's rest? Today, we are diving deep into one of the most overlooked aspects of our health, sleep. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a biological function, just like breathing or circulation. For decades, scientists thought sleep was mainly for the brain, a way to consolidate memory and learning. But we now know it affects every organ. When you fall asleep, your heart, lungs, kidneys, and liver all shift into a different mode. Neglecting your sleep does not just make you tired, it disrupts your entire physiology. Most adults need between 7 and 9 hours of sleep each night, but that number alone is not the whole story. Sleep health depends on 3 pillars: duration, regularity, and quality. Some people are genetically wired to sleep a little less or a little more, but if you sleep less than 6 hours or more than 9, your life expectancy can actually shorten. That is how critical sleep balance is. So why do so many people sleep less? The problem is what scientists now call social jet lag. During the week we go to bed late, wake up early, and try to catch up by sleeping longer on weekends. The result? We confuse our body clock. A week of sleeping 6 hours a night is like pulling an all-nighter. The debt accumulates, affecting mood, immunity, metabolism, and even increasing the risk of diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Sleep is cumulative, and irregularity destroys its architecture. If you think sleeping in on weekends fixes it, think again. It does not. The best way to reset your rhythm is consistency. 7 hours, 7 nights a week. Quick reminder, follow Omnivores 13 to stay updated every day with insights that actually change how you live. Now, what happens when we do not? Poor sleep can spiral into anxiety and depression. During the pandemic, over 60% of people reported sleep disturbances and nearly a third suffered anxiety. But what surprised researchers most was that improving sleep regularity reduced depression symptoms. Changing behavior, not just medication, can reshape mental health. Each of us has a natural rhythm. Some are night owls, others early risers, and much of that is genetic. As we age, we tend to shift toward earlier hours. Understanding and respecting your rhythm matters more than forcing a strict bedtime. If you want to know your real sleep needs, track your nights for a week. Patterns emerge. Sleep is not linear. Some nights are bad, others great, and that is perfectly normal. The myth of being perfect every day is toxic. And yes, there is science behind that advice to read a book instead of scrolling your phone before bed. It is not just the blue light, it is the content. When we watch stimulating videos or engage online, our brain stays in alert mode, making it harder to slow the heart rate and transition into sleep. The bed should serve one purpose: to rest. Disconnect before you lie down, and your body will follow. Caffeine and energy drinks? They create confusion between wakefulness and sleep. Even if you do sleep, your brain will keep floating between light and deep sleep, never reaching full rest. That is why after coffee too late in the day, you may sleep 7 hours, but wake up feeling like you barely slept at all. Fragmented sleep, waking up often, drastically lowers quality. People often underestimate or overestimate how much they actually sleep. True insomnia, affecting roughly 25% of cases, is linked to double the risk of hypertension and depression. But the first step to better sleep is simple. Wake up at the same time every day. The wake-up time sets your internal clock more than your bedtime does. If you cannot sleep, do not panic. Get up, move, read something calm, and return to bed when the pressure to sleep builds again. The worst thing you can do is force it. What about naps? Science says there are 3 kinds. Recovery naps, essential when you are in sleep debt. Pathological naps, which indicate an underlying sleep disorder. And short recreational naps that refresh your brain. A 20 to 30-minute nap can restore up to 50% of your cognitive energy, but nap too long and you will feel groggy. That is called sleep inertia. Feeling tired all the time does not always mean you need more sleep. Fatigue is the inability to keep performing a task. Sleepiness is the inability to stay awake. One needs rest, the other needs sleep. Learn to recognize the difference. If constant fatigue persists despite good sleep habits, it may be time to check your mental or physical health. Sometimes it is stress, mood, or even hidden medical issues. The first step is identifying whether you are tired, sleepy, or emotionally drained. Technology can help but can also harm. Sleep trackers, watches, or smart rings can give useful feedback, but obsession over numbers can create anxiety, a condition called orthosomnia. The goal is not perfection but awareness. Move your bedtime by an hour on weekends if needed, but avoid drifting more than 2 hours, or your brain will behave like you are jet-lagged. Even exercise affects sleep timing. Late workouts raise body temperature and delay melatonin release, making sleep harder. Morning exercise, however, helps your body wake naturally and strengthens your circadian rhythm. Age also changes how we handle sleep loss. Younger people tolerate all-nighters poorly but do not feel it immediately, while older adults resist better but feel sleep deprivation faster. The truth? No one wins against chronic sleep loss. There are also unusual sleep patterns. Polyphasic sleep, used by some extreme professionals like sailors or soldiers, who nap in short cycles throughout the day. It can work for survival or performance, but for most people, it is exhausting and unnatural. Since the pandemic, global sleep rhythms have deteriorated. Less daylight exposure, fewer social cues, and more screen time have all blurred the line between day and night. The result is a silent mental health crisis, and the cure may begin with something as simple as going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. Sleep is not wasted time. It is active recovery, memory building, emotional regulation, and even detox for your brain. Ignoring it is like never letting your phone charge, but expecting it to run all day. So tonight, respect your sleep like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Follow Omnivores 13 to keep me motivated to make more content like this every day.